Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I just wanted to do a video here. I love the histories of these old homesteads. This is looking out straight west of my homestead, and clear across the valley there is the Thomas Fork Ranch. And from the history I've been able to put together, I've got a good friend that lives north of me up here, an old-timer, and he said that there was a couple brothers that owned that Thomas Fork Ranch over there in the really late 1800s, and everything between me and there was all part of the same ranch. And I don't know the details about it, but one of the brothers came over here quite a few years later and built the home and the homestead that I've got here. Anyway, the big tract of land that's just straight west of me between us two now was part of this ranch, and it was eventually years later sold off to the Idaho Fish and Game, and it's a bird refuge now. And then that Thomas Fork Ranch owns lots and lots of acres over there. Pretty big holding. Anyway, I found some information on this old barn that I thought was real interesting history-wise. This is an old dairy barn that's here on the place, and I have since cleaned it up, made it into a woodworking shop. I've got a bunch of old woodworking tools in here. Woodworking is quite a hobby of mine. I spend a lot of time in the winters in here when it's too cold to do things outdoors. Got an old coal-fired furnace in here to warm it up a little bit, and pretty good set of old tools. Have to excuse the goats, they're wanting to tell me it's supper time. But anyway, this is a CNC router. Got a big 3 horsepower spindle on it, water-cooled spindle, computer controlled. My oldest son James, when he was in engineering school, he wanted to design this, and I put up the money for it, and so he designed this big CNC router. It goes about 5 feet wide and 9 feet long. It'll take a great big chunk of wood, and you can do just pretty much anything with it. It does really intricate 3D work if you want to do 3D landscapes or something, and then it'll cut out great big things like beehives. I used to do a lot of beehives with it, and now pretty much what I do mostly with it is do the flattening on tabletops and countertops. I've been doing quite a few live edge countertops and live edge tables, and it works really good for flattening a great big chunk of wood like that. So anyway, we'll take a look at the goats out here. This part of the barn is just a loafing shed that's hooked onto it. This is where the goat's home is now. But anyway, the thing that I found real interesting the other day, if the goats will let me, they all think they want to be part of this thing here. Watch out, guys. I should have gotten the goats out. But anyway, I found a date in this concrete down here And I can't quite tell, it's either 1984 or 1989. I'm sorry, 1954 or 59. Can't quite tell what it was. One of the two. So that dates this barn. It actually, oh God, got goats climbing all over me. It dates this barn for when this barn was moved here. My friend had told me that this was moved here from a town north of here, Raymond, Idaho. The barn evidently was moved in whole as just one big barn. And so that 1954 date would have been when they did the foundation here and moved the barn here. So there's no telling when this thing was built before that. So it was moved here even before I was born and built probably quite a few years before that. Anyway, I love the history of these old homesteads, so I hope you guys might have enjoyed it as well. Thanks for watching.